Higher income does not always equal high net worth. I work with medical professionals who save lives every day, but when it comes to money, many are quietly lighting their future millions on fire so that they can drive a luxury car that still breaks down. I'm not here to shame anyone. I've seen attending CRNAs, NPs, surgeons, nurses, hospitalists with incredible incomes and some pretty scary finances. The problem isn't intelligence. It's time, burnout, and a playbook that nobody hands you when you graduate med school or nursing school. Your income is basically like an engine, and the plan is basically the transmission. If you don't have a plan, then the engine just redlines while your wealth doesn't go anywhere. So some traps I see people fall into is lifestyle creep on autopilot. New attending? That must mean new car, bigger rent, private school, luxury vacations. Before you know it, the savings rate is 5% on a six-figure income. Trap number 2, car payments as a personality. A $1,200 a month payment feels normal, but invest that, and at about a 7% return over 20 years, that's roughly $600,000 future dollars you just gave up. And if you sink $120,000 into some luxury, rapidly depreciating car instead of investing it, that chunk alone could have grown into about $450,000 in 20 years. You add them together, you're flirting with about $1.1 million lost to one vehicle alone. Trap 3, you're buying a house too soon. When you factor in maintenance, property taxes, opportunity cost of the down payment, owning can eat 40 to 50% of take-home pay in high-cost cities. If you're not staying there 7 to 10 years, the numbers often don't pencil out. Trap 4, overpriced products pitched as sophisticated. High-fee assets under management, loaded funds, variable annuities that you can't unwind, whole life sold as an investment, and private deals with no liquidity. Trap number 5, tax scatter. Not maxing your 403b or 401k, ignoring your 457b if you have one, skipping the backdoor Roth IRAs, leaving the HSA in cash, or missing employer matches because the enrollment just felt confusing during open enrollment week. Trap 6, paper-thin protection. Not having a disability policy, no umbrella liability, wrong-term life insurance amounts, disability designations that were never updated, one accident or illness, and it's game over for your high income. Trap number 7, trying to beat the market between shifts. Chasing hot stocks, options, or funds after a night is how you underperform in the long run. Boring, low cost, and automated usually wins in the long term. Here's a little case study for you. Let's say you only overspend $2,000 a month because life is busy and you deserve nice things instead of investing them at a 7% return rate. That's $1 million in 20 years. One habit pattern, one decade or two, $1 million swing there. So here's what to do instead. Step 1, set a target savings rate. Aim for 20 to 30% of gross across all your accounts when you're in your peak earning years. If that sounds impossible, how about upping it 5% from wherever you're at right now and stair step it every 3 to 6 months. Step 2, you want to automate your flows. You want 403b, 401ks maxed if you're a high earner, 457 maxed if you're a high earner. You want your backdoor Roths maxed, your HSAs maxed. And then if you have extra money left over, instead of just sitting it in a cash account earning maybe 3 or 4%, how about instead you invest that money in a brokerage account? There's nothing wrong with just using a brokerage account. You hold that money over long periods of time, you're only getting taxed at long-term capital gains rates when you sell. So it's worth it to still invest in brokerage accounts just because you're not getting these favorable tax treatments compared to other accounts. Step 3, buy the right protection. You want occupation disability insurance if you're a physician, term life insurance if somebody depends on your income, and an umbrella policy for liability coverage. And step 4, if you make a high income, just pay cash for the stupid car. No one's going to think you're any cooler. They're going to think you're cool because you're a doctor, if anything. They're not going to think you're cool because you drive a $100,000 thing that's going to be breaking down on the side of the road. If the payment or price tag blocks your 20 to 30% savings rate, it's too much money. A reliable $25,000 to $35,000 car that you own outright won't pay you at 3 a.m. with a $3,000 repair and a $1,200 note. Keep investing boring. Low-cost index funds for total U.S. and international exposure, and high-quality bonds if you're close to retirement. Rebalance on schedule and ignore most of the noise. Don't just buy a house because your co-resident bought. Run the math. Do all of the fees of buying versus all of the fees of renting and compare. You need to assume about 6 to 8% to sell the house and only commit if you're going to hold for 7 to 10 plus years. And I would recommend for most people, write out your investment goals so that you stay on track and you can look back at them to make sure you don't sway away. You want your goals, your accounts, your target allocations, contributions, and rules for when you need to rebalance so that you're really not making decisions that are emotional when the time comes. You want to make a plan and stick to it. Here's another thing. If it's not automated, you may not stick to it during a 12-hour shift week. You need to automate your finances. It makes things so much easier. Track your savings rate, your net worth delta per quarter, and any fee drag you may have, not just your portfolio balance. Stay simple. The more complex your investments are, the easier it will be to sway away from your current plan. I pretty much just buy one stock index fund. I buy VT. It's an ETF that tracks the entire world stock market by market cap. It's super simple, low fee, and it's just easy. You buy it and forget about it. So in closing, medical pros are some of the most capable, disciplined people on earth. Your training proves it. Point that discipline at a simple plan and your income turns into freedom. Skip the status traps, automate the boring wins, and let compounding do the heavy lifting. As long as you make a reasonable plan, stick to it, and contribute regularly, you will thank yourself in 20 years.